Alrighty. Video of the day is, why do I have so many graphs up here? It's really overkill. Sad you gotta do that to try to catch a bass. Sometimes still not even catch one. I'm gonna show you why I do what I do. Let's say you got a standard unit. I was just idling around my back at the console and looking on side scan for brush piles. So let's say you just got a standard 10-inch unit. Alright, you can see on my 10-inch Humminbird there, I got a couple waypoints that I marked the brush piles. Got my graphs linked so my waypoints come up. That's huge. So I've got my external puck right there that gives me a compass bearing, so I know I got a heading line that I keep on there, so it tells me exactly where the boat's pointed. Well, I can know pretty much if I throw off the front of the boat and that heading line is lined up, I'm going to hit that brush pile. But I don't know what's out in front of me besides my waypoint. I can't see anything that's around the boat right now. I'm running 2D. You could run down scan, you could run side scan. Even if you had side scan up front, it's not going to show you what's in front of the boat. It's just going to show beside the boat. So yeah, I can see underneath with the 2D sonar. I've got my chart. The reason I run the 360 is it is super good with looking at what's on the bottom. And even on ledges and stuff, I can see. A lot of times in grass, I can see fish. It's not real time, so the pretty much the faster that I tell it to spin, it doesn't have as quality of an image. So I try to keep it on a speed 4 or 5, and that gives a pretty good image, but it's still pretty fast. My waypoints come up on the screen, which is cool. But then as I sneak up here, I'm shooting out 95 feet, 100 feet right now, and we'll sneak up here, and you can see there's the brush pile. There it is. I mean, even if I zoom way out and I shoot way out on here, I can see that brush pile pretty easy. I don't see any shadows around it right now. And that's another thing. It really, when I get out really deep, like out here on Smith where I'm at now, it's not as good. You can't make up the bottom when you're looking at over 100 feet of water. It doesn't show you what's in the water column really good. So that's why I want to be not missing out on something. So I've got my brush pile there. I can see it. But then with my Livescope, it goes wherever the front of the trolling motor is pointing. So here it's almost off the front of the boat. This is the front of the boat. This is just off to the side. So that's where I'm going to start looking with the Livescope. And I know my distance based on how far out I'm shooting. So I'll pan around on this deal. There it starts to come into the play right there. I'm only shooting out 60 feet. You can change that. Just got it on like an auto setting right now. And I'll go through settings, kind of how I keep my Livescope. I'm still learning, but just saw a fish swim off the screen right there. Now see, it's scooting off to the left of the boat on the 360, so it's also scooting left of the boat on here. So let's move a little bit to the left, go back and find it. So here it is. So now I know, throwing in that direction, I'm going to hit that brush pile. And if there was a school of fish around it, you'd be able to see it on there too, be able to really tell what's in the water column. So as my boat drifts and goes sideways, I can keep up with that brush pile in real time. And then, so I have on just a speed crawl. It's like a 1/4 ounce weight, I think. I'm actually bed fishing with it, but just for the point of the video, I'll throw it out here and show you. So I mean, it's a 1/4 ounce speed crawl at 40 feet. I mean, you can see this thing a long ways out. But I can stay with that brush pile. I know I'm throwing there around it. So let me put the camera down just a second. Alright, so I cast it out beside the boat, just in that general direction where my head is pointing, and holding the camera. And there's my speed crawl going up right over the top of it right now. I bring it right up over it. Right there it is. I'm hopping it. Now let's let it go to the bottom. So that in real time can see exactly what my bait's doing. When I'm fishing really shallow or I'm fishing grass edges, this lets me see out 120 feet what the grass edge looks like. So basically I'm covered for all scenarios, but I would not be able to see any of that if I just had this. I mean, once you get used to using these and you go back to just this and not being able to see what's out in front of you, it's just completely different deal. I mean, it is just, it's like you're lost almost. I mean, it is sad. I mean, people say that's sad, that's what fishing's come to, but you want to be able, I mean, the name of the game is to catch fish. So I'm so fishing. I mean, I've never fished this spot before, ever. I just picked up a 1/4 ounce speed crawl, got out here, got set up 40 feet from it, threw, and drug my speed crawl through it on the first throw. Could see if there was fish around it, could see my speed crawl. I mean, it's just incredible how efficient you can be now with all these tools. There's a little tidbit on why I use those. You know, I have the 360 and the Livescope, and kind of what it does for me. But any questions, I'm going to try to do on my settings, do videos on that, but hit me up. I'm all about it. I'll help out however I can. But back to fishing now.